Greetings, kiddies! Welcome back to Keepers of the Crypt, our Tales from the Crypt podcast that delves deep into the dungeon of horrifying delights that Tales from the Crypt always had in store for us. We cannot express enough joy that this show has finally found its streaming home on Shudder. We are so ecstatic to be rewatching the show, reliving the show with an entire new generation of fans who may not have had the privilege. Before that, a little bit of business. People, please go subscribe to Misfit Parade on YouTube. That's our channel where you can find this show, our short films, some other cool stuff we're working on over there, including our sister podcast to this very show, the Messed Up Movies podcast, right? If you are a Tales from the Crypt hardcore fan or even a new fan who's finding it amazing, it is impossible to imagine that you will not like some messed up movies in your life. So again, if you would be so kind to help us support that show as well, please subscribe to Misfit Parade on YouTube. You can find the Messed Up Movies podcast and Keepers of the Crypt on Spotify, Apple, everywhere you find podcasts, ratings, reviews. All of those things help shows like us out enormously. So we find ourselves today, Season 2, Episode 4, Till Death. The gold-digging landowner, man, they love that phrase, of a Caribbean villa attempts to woo a haughty, rich young woman with the aid of a potion made by his ex-lover, a voodoo priestess. But trouble ensues when he ignores the warnings about the potion. This episode is directed by Chris Wallace, starring D.W. Moffett, Pamela Gien, Aubrey Morris, and of course, John Kassir as the Crypt Keeper. Let's call a duck a duck.
And
this is the first dud of season 2.
And you know, we go into like the credits here. It's not surprising this one isn't great. The director's not well known, no big
The
name
Fly
actors
2?
or actresses.
Are you throwing shade at The Fly 2?
Except for The Fly 2, and that's it. That was a one-hit wonder for this director, apparently.
Hashtag Stoltz Army.
Still what?
Stoltz Army. Put him back in Back to the Future. That's what I want.
But yeah, other than like, you know, the one guy that you recognize is Aubrey Morris is
The doctor, yeah. So the doctor from Clockwork Orange. You've done it now, little Alex, who like lays on the bed and like gropes him really weirdly. Just a wonderfully creepy and deranged actor. He plays the sweaty doctor in this one. He's really good.
And he's still, yeah. I don't even know if he was meant to be creepy in this, but he still is not a doctor I'd go to.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that sweaty seems creepy generically. I remember
Creepy
reading
that
that
makes
Hunter
sense.
S. Thompson book, The Rum Diaries, when I was a kid. And every page just talked about how hot and sweaty it was. And I was like, I'd move. Like, I'd burn that country to the ground and start over again.
Was that in the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was like, you should not live somewhere where you're that sweaty, especially wearing suits and shit. So yeah, they all look creepy.
Yeah, that's always the thing I never like kind of like understood about like, you know, that culture and time is like you'd be somewhere, you'd be like out in the West, out in the desert, you'd be in the Caribbean. No matter what, you're wearing like a 3-piece suit.
Well, imagine those old-timey fucks in like the 50s that would fly on the first planes with no AC.
Oh god.
Chain smoking and like 5-piece suits and hats. Like imagine the ball sweat. Imagine the stench of those fucking tubes.
Oh my! And it would just stick there and get worse as time went on. Like every
She's
time,
fucking sweaty, fat. This was before dieting. Well, they probably weren't as fat, but they were probably like, you know, in between.
And they were cloth seats too. They weren't like leather seats. They were cloth seats. So all that shit just soaked in,
dude.
Oh,
just
God.
a fucking sponge of fucking butt sweat.
God, the 50s were gross.
Every era before air conditioning fucking was gross. Let's grow up. But no, so this is an episode of white appropriation versus voodoo. So we have a slick dick guy trying to fucking buy up land, right? Through seemingly nefarious ways, right? He might have seduced this lady, taken her land when she died, quote unquote, with the doctor's help.
I mean, it definitely seems like this is colonialism, appropriation. Yeah. This is like white people taking things that aren't theirs.
My biggest gripe with this episode is it does not utilize the voodoo.
It does, but just not to its full potential, which is...
It
like,
doesn't.
I love...
This is a love potion episode, dude. Voodoo is way cooler than this.
That's true. Well,
the first scene is a voodoo ritual.
Yeah.
So and it's got this chanting, like, primal rhythm to it.
Yeah.
There's fucking blood on a picture of this white dude in the fire. There's a wedding dress. You're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 100 times, whatever the fuck that is, yes.
Yep. But they don't use it for the plot.
And then it stops.
Yeah.
And
no, I agree with you.
That's
That's
dead
true.
and it becomes a real estate drama.
That's true. They give you kind of like the voodoo is like in the background of the story, which I agree is a detriment to this story. Like, because I love the voodoo horror trope. Like,
and like, voodoo is like an instant you got me.
Yeah, and this was a time when it was used a lot when this was made, and it hasn't come back. And this is something I really would love to see come back as like a horror movie theme. Like everything comes
that
in cycles.
one American Horror Story Coven, right? They did a little of that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, there was the Serpent in the Rainbow, Angel Heart. We had some good ones.
Yeah, Serpent in the Rainbow, by the way, is a fantastic book if you've never read it, because it's a nonfiction. So I don't know.
It's fiction. But.
No, it's nonfiction. It is what did he give himself? He's a paleo botanist who did research on how were these cultures actually creating zombies, quote unquote. Like,
come on.
No, like
that's a little far fetched.
No, so what it was is what they would do.
I watched the Cursed Films. So Shudder has that show, Cursed Films. Not one of them is actually cursed. It's just like it should be called Troubled Productions, not Cursed Films.
So no,
but they have a Serpent in the Rainbow episode, and they talk about that guy.
But what they would do is there would be these secret societies that was basically there actually to make sure that the communities would run cohesively, and if anybody out there was like stealing money or just being disruptive or was hurtful or selfish, they would appeal to the society and they would vote on whether this person basically needed to be taken out. And what they would do is they would grind these plants and like toad skins into glass and put it at the feet of where they would walk out, and it would get in their bloodstream slowly. And what they were paralytics and hallucinogens.
They didn't know to just like stop walking on glass.
Well, it was finely ground glass, so they didn't notice that they were like cutting up their feet.
Fiberglass,
yeah. And so it was like gradually getting into their feet and into
That's
their bloodstream.
petty as fuck, dude.
And so they would get paralyzed.
They didn't even just tell the guy, "Hey, we voted you out. We're going to inject you."
No,
they made him walk on fucking dust.
No, so here's what they did: they would get paralyzed. The town would think they would die. The person thought they were dead. They would bury them. They would know to go back and get them. And when they woke up, they were so out of their fucking mind they didn't know who they were, and they basically turned them into slave labor. So
that's like Pinocchio.
Yeah,
that's
it's like basically like
a
way to keep also society cohesive. Be like, don't fuck around, do what you're supposed to do, or this is what's going to happen to you.
Yikes. Well, no, they talked about in the Serpent and the Rainbow Cursed Films that somehow the producers had made this deal, right, where they were like paying cash payments out. And so by the end, people were like, they knew they had cash and everyone was talking about how much everyone was making. So they started demanding more and more money. And essentially the film crew, if I remember the story right, they had to like fucking flee the country. Oh, because they were about to get fucking actually murdered by these locals.
If you knew the story behind that, you would not fuck around with those people. Like,
no, you shouldn't fuck around with anyone, dude.
No, you shouldn't fuck around with anyone. But like, you're going to die, or again, you're going to be turned into a slave.
There's something especially heinous about like rich white people coming to islands and just fucking with people,
right?
And these people are just despicable, right? So seemingly got this land from this lady. It's all swamps, right? This is another thing. Another show from when I was a kid that made me always think quicksand would be everywhere.
Right, yeah, exactly. I thought that.
And how scary that fucking was.
Like, we thought quicksand was way more prevalent and dangerous when we were kids.
Scary as shit, dude. Yeah,
I don't know when the last time. When's the last time you heard of somebody dying in quicksand?
I mean, never.
I've
never outside of like the shows of my youth.
I don't know if that even actually exists. In real life, like, I have no idea.
A hoax, dude. Yeah. Quicksand was the COVID of '80s. I mean, I don't know. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, dude. I mean, whatever. So he's got quicksand, right? So he's got to bang this English broad who's got all this money, right? As he called her, the bitch on wheels.
Yeah,
and
right.
She is horrible.
Right.
Not even subtle racist, just straight up racist, classist, terrible lady. But he's got to plow her so he can fill in the swamp, right? She calls him that he's a distasteful con man, right? So I'm kind of like spits him off. So the voodoo comes in only so much as we can find out he fucked this voodoo practitioner. She didn't take revenge on him, right? But she gives him this love potion and lets him take revenge on himself, essentially. 1 drop, she's your wife. 2 drops, she's yours till death.
Yeah, it's something that rhymes, like till the end of her life or something like that.
Something, right? Yeah, there's like a little thing, right? So, of course, this guy... I love the scene when they're going over the things and she goes, "Oh, is it hot in here?" After 1 drop, and he goes, "It's about to get hotter." And he kisses her and she smacks the shit out. I'm like, what is wrong with you? He didn't wait long enough.
Just immediately jumps on that. Like,
so fucking good.
But also, like, yeah, you just talked about how hot it was.
Yeah. Well, then he gets this date rapey thing, right? Where she comes in like a vampire.
Well, I mean, he's date rapey for trying to slip her this anyway. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying, right?
Rapey.
It's the date rapist fantasy right now. So he gets this lady, right? And then in the morning, he's like, champagne? Drop. And he's like,
Yeah, just
doses the fucking thing.
for good measure, we'll just do half.
Who knows
the
how,
bottle.
like, a lot of fucking drops, right? This causes the rich English lady to fucking drop dead.
Yep.
They bury her. He goes and fucking chokes the voodoo lady, right? Lets her go. He's like, you're not worth going to jail for.
Yeah, and then decides, like, oh, I'm not going to commit a crime.
Yeah, and
But
she
even
goes,
though he already
where
did
you're
commit a
going
crime.
is
Like,
a lot worse than jail.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's Jean-Claude Van Damme. But, you know what I mean? And that sets us up, right? So he's crying at the grave. Oh, I'm so fucking sad. Mostly because he doesn't have her money, right?
Right, exactly.
My ass is grass. His investment's blown
he's not
up.
sad she's dead. He's sad that she's not giving him his
Right.
money.
And she fucking rises from the grave. That scene was pretty cool.
Yeah, the hand jumping straight up out of the
problem is, not another fucking thing in this movie makes a lot of sense to me. Because she comes back, and I thought we were going to do this, like, she's a dead wife thing, right? Like a Pet Sematary 2 almost, right? Dead person who doesn't fully know they're dead yet. That part was pretty cool, right? She's cooking. You're going to fuck me 5 times a day. He's like, oh, something smells like fucking dead meat. Whatever.
Yeah,
that was a good segment.
Right, yeah, where she's like, you can, like, they give you the sense that, like, she's decaying, and then you just kind of start using your imagination and thinking in the background of, like, what is sex like with this decaying individual. Like,
you thought about it?
I thought about how gross that's got to be.
Would
If the person smelled like a dead body,
if your wife came back from the dead for but one day,
if my wife,
you wouldn't pleasure her?
If my wife that I married just so I could get her money?
Well, no.
So
like your wife now.
My wife now, maybe.
She came back, right? You're mourning at the grave. She comes back for one day. You're like, dude, she's still intact. She's like, I still love you, Mike.
If we're talking about like an altruistic thing for the person we love, sure.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? You wouldn't for Amy at all?
You just outed yourself. I probably would. I'm into doing things that I've never experienced, yeah. As long as I don't have to travel or do anything like that. Yeah, no. But I thought that was a cool riff.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of descends into like zombie horse shit.
I mean,
for some reason, she starts decaying fucking rapidly.
Really fast.
I'm guessing it's the heat.
Yeah, that's probably true. I thought it was interesting, especially since they said they embalmed her, that she's
right.
still like
and then she tells the doctor, like, oh, you fucked up. No, I didn't. She fucking meat cleavers him.
Yeah, that didn't make any
reason.
sense. Yeah, like, why did she like chop off this? Which, by the way, would have been actually probably a cooler segment if they did do like a Pet Cemetery thing where the person comes back from the dead and is evil, and then just goes on a killing spree.
Maybe
and
it
is
was
just
meant to be because she loves him so much, no one else can get close. I don't know what the fuck that was about.
Yeah, it was just kind of like way out of left field. It was a cool scene. I'll give it that.
There's fire. There's quicksand. There's like a bad zombie face mask. It kind of looks like the I want my cake, Bedelia from Creepshow.
The giant like skull.
That's like fucking skull.
That's like clearly over somebody's head.
It looks like someone would wear Into Battle with Conan the Barbarian over their head as armor. It just kind of gets stupid from there.
Yeah.
Right? And then, she keeps coming back. I did like the last scene, though. Right? Where the voodoo priestess wakes him up. And she's like, you try to take the easy way out because he swallowed poison, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She either saved him or revived him. We don't know. Probably revived. The skeletal bride is there. And the head of the doctor?
Yeah, for some reason she brings back the head of the doctor.
Because the doctor got killed by a blow to the head, but now he's decapitated and he's talking in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck that was all about.
Yeah. There's no great reason why they brought the doctor back. It's a cool scene just like to get into, again, the voodoo horror.
Yeah, well, she's like, I always keep my promises, whatever. So you're like, that's cool to think that they'll sit there and, suffer, I guess.
Yep. And now that these are tools of the locals now.
Right.
To be used, like that head, and that basically she's just gonna like torture sex him in this corpse
but she has no
eternity.
Bits.
God, that's even almost worse.
Like,
Can you imagine,
she's just gonna like sit on him with her open pelvic bone?
Yeah, just gonna like pelvic grind the bone, like ow.
I mean, she's not gonna grind. It's just like it'd be like fucking throwing.
Well, I mean, like, you got your tailbone coming around, curling.
It's like
around
playing beer pong in like
hook.
mop buckets. Like that's not fun. You know what I mean?
I don't know. There could be a lot of like painful things that happen.
I guess.
Like you get like that tailbone curve around just the wrong way.
That little doggy tail thing we have. Yeah. No, I don't know. I think if this episode has a huge problem, right, is that you should have taken the rich English broad out. Why not have the voodoo priestess be the lady who has the land that he needs to get?
Yeah.
So his swampland is unusable. He's got to go get her land or get her to like let him use the land, whatever. So he falsely seduces this lady.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the problem is the voodoo and the punishment of the white people is the important element of the story. But the voodoo is just fucking shoehorned in like twice. So there's something happening.
Right. Again, it's like it's something that's cool, but it's in the background. It's not.
Right. I don't care about that English lady and the guy.
Right.
Right. The people whose land he's taking, he sees one of the workers get gobbled up in quicksand, has no remorse.
Right.
The fucking rich lady's like, you need a better class of servants. Blah, blah. So they're just horrible rich white people that need to get got.
Right.
Let the fucking voodoo clan, right? Like let the people of the village or whatever, let the voodoo priestess be the lead character.
Yeah,
right.
I agree with
Watch
you.
her do it. Right. She's like, no, they're different.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah.
And then unleash. Let her have some fucking skin in the game.
Yeah. Let his further punishment being trying to further screw over these locals and these people.
We find out that he already fucked her over.
Yeah.
And fucked her, I
Right.
guess. So
like
where was that part?
Right.
That's part of the story would be more interesting.
If you just thought he had the hubris to try and trick a voodoo priestess.
This is his paradise.
Right.
It's their home, but he's come here to make it his and his other rich white friend's paradise.
Right.
We know he fucked her. Why was that not the tale?
Right.
That's way better.
Yeah.
It's pointed horror then.
Yep.
Because this is just kind of like, oh, we're being dicks. Oh, there's voodoo in the background.
Yep. And
this could be a bee sting movie. That's how inconsequential it is.
And maybe they kind of learned their lesson on that because they do have a later Tales from the Crypt episode that's almost like that.
I feel like I remember that.
There's a Black Pearl episode with Whoopi Goldberg that comes later we'll talk about, but it kind of actually almost follows that path. So maybe they realize we had a missed opportunity here.
This is a not good episode.
I agree. This is definitely one of my least favorites.
Honestly,
maybe even less favorite than the Santa episode. So it may be.
How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? The one white person who's done nothing wrong is Santa, and you will not leave him alone. No, I do think of the 10 we've watched so far, this is the worst.
Yeah, I agree.
This one has no. There's nothing that I would ever be like, I got to put that on again.
Right.
There's not one moment or scene or, I mean, it's fine, right? Like, I'm just a horror movie guy. I love Tales from the Crypt. This episode does nothing very well.
Yeah. I'd give this one a C.
Yeah, this is the worst one. This is even worse than the weird, like, time-traveling sperm baby one.
I don't even remember that one.
Remember that where the lady, like, fucks the guy and, like, he one-shots her and she gets a baby and then she has to kill him on their wedding night, and then
we haven't
been doing this that long. You got to remember this.
Yeah. So well, the way you phrase it, I'm like I was
time
thinking
traveling sperm shot.
I was thinking like butterfly effect, but like
kind of.
But yeah, now I remember talking about. Okay, yeah, but this also does like something that's like I remember like now that I've gone through the episodes and watched them all. The Tales from the Crypt I think does maybe at least 3 times is the love potion trope. Coming back to bite them in the ass, and the guy does the same mistake every time. He's
Careful
just like,
what you wish for. Yep.
Well, not just that, where he's just like, they say 1 drop, 2 drops, and the guy just like dumps the whole fucking thing in. And then
you want a blowjob, they don't want it ever to come out of their mouth or ensues.
Yep. Then they just like never stop having sex with the guy.
Death by
like,
snoo.
Death by snoo. Like, that's how it always goes.
The mind is willing, the body is flesh and pinker.
Which again, our Tales from the Crypt actually does like an interesting thing where it takes like sex and makes it a punishment for the man.
Well, right, when they're not earning the sex.
Right.
Right? There was a lot of, hey, don't be a date rapist in this show that just didn't seep into culture enough.
Yeah, you would have, yeah.
Right.
It was too subtle.
Was it? This is pretty fucking
apparently
obvious.
It was.
I think not enough people had HBO.
Maybe.
That was the problem. They need to get this on streaming now.
If everybody had HBO and...
If everyone watched Tales from the Crypt, everyone would be like, I don't want that.
I don't
this
disagree.
Is bad for everyone.
The world would be a better place if there was more access to Tales from the Crypt.
There's more Tales from the Crypt. That's what I mean. We need these morality tales.
So which is why...
This was also, besides the Arnold one, this was another Crypt Keeper's got a costume. He's doing bits.
Yeah.
He's
so
sunning, right?
Into that. He's starting to get... He still has that, like, the raspy, like, kind of like...
He's not as
voice.
over the top, but we're starting to see him in, like, garb.
Yep.
Right? He's starting to be a little more in on the joke.
Yeah.
So he's on his way.
It's a cool like evolution to like watch.
It is.
Like it's not like
I always
remember
him at the height, right?
Yep. Like that's how everybody always remembers the Crypt Keeper is like the late night show host.
Yeah.
Like super like energetic, high pitched, constant voice, laugh. Like everyone remembers that. You don't remember this little evolution towards that, but speaking of access to Tales from the Crypt, one thing I didn't realize, in case anybody is watching this and is struggling to find episodes or doesn't want to pay eBay money to get the DVDs, if you can go on YouTube and actually watch them unedited for free.
All of them?
All of them.
Nice.
So
I got my DVD box set for like $20.
Yeah, I got mine I think for like $30. But I like having it. It's nice. But in case anybody out there just wants to watch Tales from the Crypt for free, you can watch it on YouTube, unedited. There are lots of channels out there.
We should post that on the Discord.
Yeah, find some of the channels and share them.
Right. We should post that on the Discord so everyone can join it. We hope everyone's listening. We hope everyone's having a good time with this. That's it. For now, Cloud and I will return next week with another amazing Tale from the Crypt. I am your host, Josh Griffey.
And I'm Mike Cloud. Good night, everybody.
Bye!